Hey, good evening and welcome to everyone to the Back to School at Great Oaks YouTube Live event. My name's Dan Rush. I'm the Director of Student Services here at Great Oaks. I am pleased to introduce the 4 deans of the Great Oaks career campuses. We are glad to have all of our incoming students here this evening. We want to take this time to answer any questions that you have, give you any necessary information to get your year off to a great start. We'll cover the dates you need to know, information about orientation, transportation, parking, uniforms, and really any questions that you have to make sure that your transition to Great Oaks is a phenomenal one. As a quick reminder, new student orientation and the first day for incoming students is Tuesday, August 18th. Please continue watching your campus communications because details will come out from each campus individually. Please take some time if you have individual questions to post them to the YouTube chat throughout this live broadcast. We'll answer questions as we go, and we will certainly save time at the end for any rapid fire questions in a Q&A session. So let's go ahead and get started. My panel, again, as I said, are the 4 deans of the Great Oaks career campuses. If I could throw it out to Mr. McCool to start the introductions, and then every other dean can follow.
Absolutely. Good evening. My name is Andy McCool. I'm the Dean of Instruction at the Laurel Oaks campus in Wilmington, Ohio.
My name is Amy Kraus, and I'm the Dean of Instruction at the Live Oaks campus in Milford.
My name's Jillian Russell. I'm an Assistant Dean of Instruction at Diamond Oaks.
I'm Matt Lindley. I am the Dean of Instruction at Scarlet Oaks.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to throw a question out to Mr. McCool. So, Mr. McCool, can you explain what is one concern that incoming students typically have that fades as they get through the first week at Great Oaks?
I think the biggest thing is a lot of people get cold feet. You're making a giant leap from your home school where you've been comfortable for many years, and all of a sudden you're coming to a new environment, seeing different faces that you've never met before. But the reason why people get so comfortable so quickly, you've made a choice to go into a program that you're choosing. And so as soon as you get in there, you start meeting people, like-mindedness, and you have that common passion for that lab you chose. And then pretty soon you start to find those similarities amongst why you're there, meet new friends. And again, usually after those first couple of days, everybody just calms down and they start to enjoy because they're there for that learning lab and they get really excited about that. And honestly, that's what we always tell the students, hey, just give it a couple of days and let's see how it goes. And that's typically, the cold feet is probably the biggest concern that most students have when they come to one of the campuses.
Thank you. Mr. Lindley, can you explain what students should expect on Tuesday, August 18th for their first day?
Sure. Again, what to expect that first day, it's only juniors. Juniors will be the only people in the building, so everybody is going to be their first time there, and everybody can be lost together. But the best part about it is you get to know your classmates, you get to meet the teachers, and it's really a day. It's not about procedures. It's more about getting to know the building, getting to know your teachers, getting to know your lab instructor, and your classmates. We want you to feel comfortable in this transition to a brand new school. You're coming for the first time, and again, here in a couple of years, you'll be leaving your high school, just like you'll be leaving our building. So it's a transition that's a little early, but at the same time, though, that first day is meant just to make you feel comfortable in that building and with the teachers that you have and the lab instructors you have, and just to get to know the students that you're with.
Thank you, Mr. Lindley. Dr. Kraus, I'm going to start with you on this question, but it's kind of a round robin for everybody on the call. Are there any scheduled pickup events, open houses, anything before the 18th that students need to know about and their families need to know about to make sure that they have a successful transition to Great Oaks?
Yeah, great question. At Live Oaks, we will have a scheduled pickup, open house, tour of the building on Thursday, August 13th from 4:30 to 6:30. So our staff will be here. You can walk your schedule. You can drop off medication for the nurse. You can pick up a parking pass. Get some questions answered and just get a little acclimated to the building. Maybe see some of your classmates. But a chance just to poke around, walk around with a family member or a friend, just to kind of get the lay of the land. So that is Thursday night from 4:30 to 6:30 on the 13th at Live.
Great. Anyone else want to share any details of events they might have prior?
Sure. Ours is going to be Wednesday, August 12th. And it's from 11 to 3, and that's our scheduled pickup. It's going to be the same. You're coming in to get your packet that have all your information in it. And one of the biggest things when you get that packet, just a reminder, and I'm sure everybody else will remind you also, a lot of our parents have filled out information for final forms. You'll get some more information on final forms that day. You have to fill one out for the building you're attending. And so you'll get that in the packet, but also it's a chance to walk the building, find your classes, so you feel comfortable on that first day when you're coming in on the 18th.
So for Diamond Oaks, our scheduled pickup is August 14th from 12 to 3. This is an opportunity for students to get their schedules, walk the building, and like everybody else has said, drop off medication, talk to your counselor. If you can't make it, that's perfectly fine. You'll be able to get your schedule on the first day, which is August 18th.
Thank you.
And for Laurel Oaks, same thing. We are Thursday, August 13th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Again, it's one of those chances for parents and guardians to come tour the campus. A lot of the students have been there multiple times, but again, it's for them to kind of showcase the campus, where they're going to be, kind of meet the teachers, see your academic teachers as well. For Laurel Oaks, new students will get their schedule on the new student orientation day, that next Tuesday. But other than that, they're walking around, they're meeting people. Campus is open between those 2 hours from 5 to 7. So, anytime you want to come in, stop in and meet people, again, like you're talking about, you drop off some medication, any forms, final forms, people there to help you out as well. So anything like that, we're there to help you out that night.
Great. Thank you, everybody. Here's a question about transportation. And I'll throw it out to Dr. Kraus. How does transportation from the homeschool work, and who should a family contact if they don't know the route, pickup information, bus time, etc.?
So all the
Dr.
transportation.
Kraus is still trying to log on there.
Nope.
I can answer that one.
I'm
for
here.
you.
Nope.
So basically with transportation, we do not
Am I
have
here?
the transportation, but you need to contact your homeschool's transportation department, and you can get online, look at the phone number for transportation for whatever your homeschool is. They'll answer those questions for you, where you'll go. There might be a transfer bus that will go to the high school that might go to Live and then come to Scarlett, or one that comes from Scarlett and goes to Diamond, but they'll give you that information and let you know where those transfers are, and know where to pick it up and at what time. So again, you'll want to contact them if you are riding a bus, and they'll tell you that transportation information. Again, we can't answer that for you. That'll be a transportation piece from your homeschool.
Thank you, Mr. Nunley. So along the transportation vein of conversation, Dean Russell, can you talk about students who plan to drive from their homeschool? What do they need to be able to drive? What rules do they need to follow? Where's parking? All those fun facts.
Yeah, so for Diamond Oaks, we have a student parking lot. There will be people outside on your first day to direct you there. We'll have you back into spots, but again, people will be there to direct you what way you go and where you park. We will have parking passes available. They are free. We just need your driver's license number, your insurance information, all that stuff to fill out. But for the beginning of school, for the first week or two, I wouldn't stress about it. Like I said, there'll be people to direct you to the parking lot, and students are free to drive here.
Thank you.
I would, Dan, I'd also like to add just to that, because we do have a new construction at Scarlett. We're actually redoing our parking lot. So again, please be patient when you come in on those first days. Understand it's going to be a construction area, but we will have plenty of parking for our students. Just know that it's not going to be totally complete, but we will have parking for everybody. And so again, be patient with our staff that'll be out there directing traffic.
Thank you, Mr. Lynn. That's definitely good advice, since my office sits right outside that parking lot, and I'm sure it'll be ready to go in 3 weeks. I guarantee
Sure.
it. Another question about transportation for those parents who drop and pick up their students. What is your process at your campus? Best times, best places to park, etc. I'll throw it out to Dr. Kraus because I know she's eager to speak, and she can talk about Live Oaks.
So we have a separate parent drop off. Our students park on, if you're facing the building, the students park on the left and the families drop off on the right. We'll send out a diagram for that, and we'll have staff members there in the afternoon to show you how to weave around to do parent pickup. So we try to separate, to keep you out of the student parking lot. But in the morning, families just drop off at the front door, and whatever is convenient for you. But in the afternoon, we have a little loop that we ask parents to go through, and we'll send a little map home for you.
Any other additional information from any other dean about parent drop off and pick up at your campus?
Ours is going to be the same way. We're going to be sending something out to parents before school starts with some information and a map. It's going to be on Scarlet Oaks Drive, where you'll come in and then you'll exit out the other end. We'll have people out there directing traffic, making sure everybody knows where they're going. So again, appreciate everybody's patience, especially at Scarlet. But again, that information will be coming out before the beginning of school. And there will also be information in your packet that you will pick up on scheduled pickup day.
For Diamond Oaks, when people come up the driveway, if they make their first right for drop off, it'll take you down to the flagpole, go around the flagpole. That's where you'll drop off and pick up. For pickup, you'll come up the same way, but then you will park in a spot so that your student can come to your car.
And for Laurel, we have two main drives, Oak Drive and then Aviation Drive. And again, we'll put this out on our website, send it out to parents as well. But parents will do the pickup in the afternoon on Aviation Drive. We try to separate just to make sure student safety is paramount. We don't need additional drivers, students trying to walk to their cars. So we're pretty adamant to make sure parents are on one side of the building. So again, there's no crossover where students are walking, people are driving and kind of getting in the way. So, but we'll get all that stuff posted on the website and send it out to parents. So everybody knows exactly what's going on our campus and all the other campuses.
Thank you to everyone. The question that usually comes up, what do students and their families need to know about uniforms, specific shoes, any equipment, grooming standards? Just what do they need to know about what your campus does specifically about how they should dress?
So at Scarlet, the biggest thing is that information was sent out to all students. And we also sent it out again today with a link to where you can get the uniforms for the different labs. So make sure you're looking at that and try to get your uniform before the first day. If you're not there, if you don't have that the first day, just wear your khakis in a polo shirt or jeans. If you're in a heavy lab, in a polo shirt, you should be fine. But again, we're going to be patient with that, but make sure you're taking a look at those things and trying to get on top of getting those uniforms as soon as possible. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to contact your lab instructor, and they'll be more than happy to give you that information.
Thank you. I would like to add, if you don't have your uniform on the first few days of school, just a reminder that shorts and sandals, tank tops, crop tops, none of that is allowed. It's a professional dress. So even if you're not yet in your lab uniform, you should be in professional dress. So like Mr. Lindley said, khakis or jeans and a nice shirt. But shorts, pajama pants, crop tops, sandals, none of the slippers, none of that is allowed at any time at school. So at least be professional and neat in your dress until your uniform comes in.
Thank you. Great information, Dr. Kraus. For those, getting ready for back to school shopping, tax-free weekends coming up, what basic school supplies should students bring, and when will they receive their laptop from Great Oaks? That's open to anyone.
I think the typical supplies, obviously, you're looking at some notebooks, some pens and paper. Most of the stuff we do on campus is done on the laptop. Most of the teachers use the digital platforms for having students do assignments and turning them in online as well. Some teachers will ask for students to have notebooks. But again, notebooks, paper, pen, pencil, those are the basics. That's what they need. For laptop pickup, obviously every campus might do it a little bit differently. We want to make sure at Laurel that parents and guardians are completing their final forms prior to the students picking up their laptops. Our hope is to get our students up at Laurel, get their laptops distributed on the new student orientation day. Again, we're making sure that we're going to have a checkoff list to make sure all parents and guardians have completed their final forms. That's when students will get their laptops with their passwords. They can log in, and the students can complete their aspect of the final forms as well. But that's what our goal is, to make sure everybody's reading the policies, procedures for our campus and for Great Oaks, to make sure they know what the expectations are before we actually turn those laptops over.
Thank you. I'm going to jump to some of the questions in the chat. So one of the questions, it's a question that if you guys can answer it better than I can. Do new students come on the 18th, even if they are not juniors? So a senior in a junior program, do you want them there on the 18th of August?
Absolutely, 100%. The day is designed for those students who are new to our campus to get a sense of what life is going to be like. So even if you're not a junior or a level 1 student, that's okay, because at the end of the day, we want you to understand what campus life is going to be like. And if you show up on the first full day of school with everybody else, it might be a little confusing to you. So we want to get you in there that first chance. Again, see everybody, meet your instructors and stuff like that. It's just a day that it might not be perfect for you, but in terms of your schedule, but that's okay. You're not the first, you won't be the last, but we would prefer to have you on campus that day so you can get that interaction and understand the layout of the campus with 400 plus other students moving around with you at the same time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just going to echo what Mr. McCool said. Absolutely, we'd love to have you that day. We might just want to alter your schedule so that you get access to the information and the tours and everything, because your schedule might look a little different if you're a senior. So absolutely, we want you that day.
There's a question in the chat about applications. And I'll answer it. Are the campuses still accepting applications? Yes, they are accepting applications. This particular individual said they applied earlier in the month. Please note the staff that handle those applications have not been on site in July. They will be playing catch up next week when they're back on campus. I will be honest, most of our programs are full, but you still have a good chance of getting in because there are people that get cold feet, change your mind, move out of district. So please, if you know people that still want to apply, they can apply. Can't make any promises about acceptance kind of this late in the summer, but we do still take applications really through the end of August, right into early September. Question for the group. Also in the chat, if I have a student that has medication that needs to get to a school nurse, any information about an IEP or 504, who do I contact at your campus?
So at Scarlett, again, if you have any questions, our school nurse will be there on our scheduled pickup day. So you'll be able to speak to her. And if you have any questions about administering different medications that you can. And Dan, what was the second part of that question?
As far as school, but then if you have any like IEP 504 communications that the family feels that, Great Oaks needs to know about.
Right.
Who should
I
they
think,
contact?
again, you can get a hold of the counselor or their administrator. And again, if you come that first day or call in and say, this is my student, this is what lab they're in, we'll get you in touch with the right person to be able to have that. You'd be able to talk to someone about the information that you have. And again, we'll get that information to the right people and probably have some conversations with the homeschool about that IEP or 504.
Thank you. So, like any public school, we use several online systems. What Great Oaks accounts or platforms should students and parents set up prior to the start of school? Several people have already mentioned Final Forms, which is critical for us getting a lot of information, emergency medical information, again, that 504 IEP status. We also use Parent Square, Progress Book, Schoology, and Pay Schools. Most districts use all of those systems, but it is critical for everyone on this YouTube live event to understand our systems are separate from your affiliate school. So if you've already signed up, at a West Claremont, at a Princeton, at an Oak Hills, you still have to sign up through Great Oaks. So because we are a separate school district, everything you do have to duplicate things. Maybe you have a younger child in one of our affiliates. You still need to make sure that you're logging in and signing up for our systems. Please note, just as everybody's already emphasized, you can do that at the orientation days. We'll make sure that everything gets handled. The key is just, feel free to call the school. They'll make sure they'll walk you through the process. We have great staff on every campus. The orientation days are a great time to do that. So please make sure that is handled, especially Final Forms. That's probably our most critical piece starting off. Make sure we have all the documentation about your student. Question for the group. I'm going to throw it out to Ms. Russell. How are breakfast and lunch handled, and what should families do in advance to fund an account or apply for free and reduced lunch?
Yeah, so at Diamond Oaks, we serve breakfast and lunch. You can pay for it through your Pay Schools account, which, like Mr. Rush said, you have to set up a different Pay Schools account for Great Oaks than you do for your homeschool. We also do free or reduced, but you have to fill out that form, and that will be available at our August 14th scheduled pickup day. So if you want to pick that up then, fill it out before the first day, obviously, and then you could get lunch. You also, if you have no money on your account first day, you can charge a lunch a few times before you have any money on your account. We have a registrar who's available at lunch for you to put cash on your account if that's easier than using a credit card to link it to that.
Thank you. One of the questions, there's been multiple questions in the chat about August, our first day of school, August 18th. What are the students going to be doing, and what really is the purpose of that day? I know Mr. McCool addressed it earlier, but I think it's important to emphasize what is going to happen on the 18th.
I can speak to that for Scarlett. We actually have, it's called an NSO team, New Student Orientation, and our teachers get together and put together different activities throughout the day. And again, it's one, just to make everybody feel comfortable coming into the building, coming to someplace brand new. You've been at the same school. Most of you have been at the same school for 12, 13 years. And it is a time for you guys to come in and just get to know everybody. We do a scavenger hunt. We do the tour from our lab instructors. There's some PowerPoints from our teachers, and they do some get to know you activities. So again, that day is more of just a kind of hopefully an enjoyable day to get to know everybody in the building and feel comfortable where you're going.
Thank you. I know we touched on uniforms earlier. I just want to emphasize, we understand that you may not have your uniform on that first day of school, but I want to reemphasize what Dr. Kraus said. Please make sure that you're dressing in a professional manner. We don't do shorts. We don't do flip-flops. Again, we're trying to get you ready for the world of work. And in many of your programs, we simply can't allow that type of dress for safety concerns and also professional expectations. So make sure that you're dressing professionally. Long pants, again, closed-toed shoes, Collared shirt would be preferred. But again, we understand that you may not have your uniform on the 18th. Next question, and this is again, anyone in the group. What does a typical day look like for a junior? How's time divided between their lab, their academic classes, lunch, etc.?
I can take that. So at Diamond Oaks, I think actually at all of the campuses now, we have a slid morning schedule for some labs. So some juniors will go to their first bell, go to lab, go to lunch, and then go to 3 other classes, where other students will go straight to lab, lunch, and then 4 classes. Lab is about 2.5 hours, and academics are 45 minutes, lunch being 30 minutes.
Let me jump in real quick for Laurel Oaks. We are the only campus that has a flipped schedule with the juniors and seniors. So our juniors, our incoming students, will have lab in the afternoon. So they'll be going into school and then going to academics first, and then the seniors will be in lab first. We flipped it this year for a couple reasons, but so when students come in the morning, they will be going to their academics, not their lab.
Scarlet is the same as Diamond. We do have that slip schedule where we have some students that might have a first period class, especially as a junior coming in. But again, it's 2.5 hours in a lab, and then the rest of your day is in academics. So it's the same type of schedule. And again, it's gonna vary from school to school.
I would add that lunch at Live is a little longer. It's about 30 minutes. We have basketball hoop out back. We encourage students to go outside, get some fresh air, walk around. It's a good time to do some business, stop in at the front office and pick up a form, pick up an application you need. Maybe you need a form for a work permit. Good chance to go in and make an appointment with your counselor. But a time to visit, have some decompression time, get some movement in your day. Eat, of course, but have a little social time and maybe connect with your homeschool friends. But our students seem to have that nice little downtime at lunchtime. It's a little slower pace. Our lunch is a little slower pace.
Thank you. If a student coming in is in their career program and it's not exactly what they expected, what is the process for them to investigate another option at your campus?
Ours would be that at Scarlet, you would go and see your counselor first, have that conversation. And if, especially within the first 15 days, if there's any space anywhere, we'll try to find something that's appropriate, something that might be available for you. But again, if it's not exactly what you want, we want you to kind of, I think one of the biggest things is you come in, you're nervous, and you feel like I need to go back. A lot of times you give it a week, give it 2 weeks. You'll find out that it is a place for you, and you're starting to do some things that are exciting you. So that is a piece. But if it isn't for you, you have that opportunity within those first few for some schools to be able to go back to your home school, or we can see if there's an availability of any lab that might have an opening.
Thank you. Any other input from the other deans? I think Mr. Lindley covered that pretty well.
I would have a conversation with your lab instructor too, and maybe talk about why you don't think it's a match, to see if your lab instructor will say, well, gosh, once we get through the OSHA training and the safety training, we'll be doing X and Y. Have that open conversation with your lab instructor too, to see if there really is a match and it's just not connecting for your child right away. But say something to your counselor, say something to your lab instructor. We want to find a good fit. 2.5 hours is a long time to spend in a lab where you don't see yourself working in the future. So we want a good match and a good fit. So speak up and let us help make that match happen.
Thank you. Dean Russell, can you talk about students being involved in their homeschool activities, sports, clubs, dances? What can they do to stay involved? Are they allowed to stay involved in their homeschool activities?
Yeah, I think at Great Oaks, we really want students to stay involved with their homeschools because they are, still a homeschool student while also being our student. So dances, any of that stuff, obviously can still attend. Sports, if they need to miss for, I don't know, a game, et cetera, et cetera. If their athletic director or their coach reaches out, we can arrange that because we encourage them to participate in their homeschools. The most important thing is communication. We have to know what's going on and hear from the homeschool to make sure that we're on the same page and we get the student to where they need to be.
Thank you.
We also
Might see-
encourage
Go ahead.
we encourage after your lab is over to wear your football jersey or your cheerleading jacket. Or soccer jersey. We encourage you to, wear your uniform if your homeschool is wearing their uniforms. We like to push out and shout out if your high school team is that Inquire team of the week. We like to know that, and we push that out and share that with all of your Live Oaks community, and encourage people to vote, vote to support your team. So we really want to embrace those homeschool activities that you're doing and make those an important part of your life here as well.
Thank you.
I would also talk about the CTSOs. Again, you'll be able to do all those things at your home school, but we will hopefully everyone will get involved in our career student technical organizations that have to do with across the board, every one of our labs, where you'll have a chance to compete not only locally but possibly at state or possibly nationally. So we'll give you more information on that when you get to school. But when you hear CTSOs, that's what we were talking about in terms of getting involved in our building and being involved in your building and all the things that you want to do there too.
Thank you. All right. So it's a hot topic in education, and I would like each campus administrator to explain what is the cell phone policy of your campus. I know they are unique based on location. So if you could explain to the families of your particular campus what the cell phone and personal electronic device expectations are.
Cell phones will not be allowed at any time during the day at Live Oaks. So from the 7:50 bell, students, when they come in the building, they're depending on when your bus gets here, there may be some downtime, but when that tardy bell rings at 7:45, they're to be off and stored, and we should not see them again until dismissal at 2:18. There is no need to have your cell phone device during the day, so those will not be allowed this year.
Laurel Oaks is the same as Live Oaks. When the students come in, their cell phones are turned off, and then they don't turn them back on until the end of the day. And then obviously, if there's a parent needs to get a hold of their child, you call the front desk, and we will make sure we've done that plenty of times, and make sure that if there's a need, we'll get a hold of them. Obviously, there are some medical issues, medical health issues in terms of needs to be monitored or something like that. That's another conversation we can have on an individual basis. But for the general population, it is 0 cell phones from the time they come in until the time they leave.
I would everything that's going on with the other schools is the same thing. The only thing that is a little different at Scarlett is that at lunchtime we'll allow to have the cell phones, but again, that's up to the students. If they can handle that properly, we'll be able to do that. If not, then we might have to backstep on that, but hopefully we don't. And everybody's responsible for that half an hour at lunchtime. But again, throughout the rest of the day, cell phones are turned off and put away. And again, echoing what Mr. McCool said, if there's any need for those cell phones for medical reasons, 504 reasons, we'll get that information together and make sure we implement that as soon as possible.
Diamond Oaks is the same as Scarlet Oaks, so students shouldn't have them when they come in, or they should have them away when they come in the building. They can have them at lunch, and then after lunch they go back away till the end of the day.
Thank you, everybody. There have been several questions about student emails and when will they receive those. I do know that answer. You will receive your student email when you are issued your laptop. It's kind of a part and parcel deal. You'll get your email, you get your password. That way, that will allow you to log on to our systems as a student. As Mr. McCool emphasized earlier, that will also be a time where the students can complete their part of Final Forms and get everything handled on our end as far as our technology. We've got a pretty streamlined process at each campus. We've got some great some great tech people that will make sure that you get everything you need to be successful with the technology on our end here at Great Oaks. There's some questions on the chat. When are there school maps available when students are walking the building? How are they going to find their classes? When are they going to get their schedule? I know you've covered it, but I do think it's an important thing to emphasize, because I know that our buildings are large, and in many cases larger than our affiliate schools. So people get concerned about, how am I going to navigate such a large space?
I think one of the things you really got to remember, you've got your whole junior class is going to be in the same boat that you're in. So as a student coming in, you're going to be walking the building. They're going to be looking for those. Our teachers will be out in the hallways, directing you to where to go. We'll have maps that that you can use. And give it about a week, and you'll start to remember where those classes are at. It just takes a little time. But we will have people in the hallways helping you get where you need to go. The maps for Scarlett, we're working on those right now. We've got some rooms that we've got to do some changes on. We had some construction done in the building, which enlarged some of our health labs. So they will have that addition on there, and we'll get those out and have that in one. We'll have that in the packet that we're handing out on our schedule pickup day.
Thank you, Mr. Lindley. I know it's an odd question, but it comes up every year. It is July 28th. It is currently 82 degrees outside. But how are weather delays, snow, ice, etc., handled by Great Oaks? How are they different than what an affiliate school might do? Andy, Mr. McCool, I'm going to throw this out to you, because Laurel Oaks tends to have the most.
That is true. We deal with a lot of homeschools that are very rural, and there's fog delays. It could be snowing in Greenfield, Ohio, and not snowing in Wilmington. So my job as the campus dean is to get up early, make sure I know what's going on weather-wise. As soon as I know if there's going to be a delay or a closure for Laurel Oaks, I will do an all-call to parents and guardians. It will be put on the website. It will go on the local news. We try to get that information out as soon as humanly possible. I'm in contact with my affiliate school superintendents to see what their plans are. But what I want all students and parents to understand, if your homeschool goes on a delay or closes, you follow that. You do not have to come to campus. Again, it's safety reasons. But what we always tell students, if you are already on campus and you found out your homeschool closed, we don't want you to go back on the roads right then, because again, there's a reason why the homeschool said the area is closed for bad weather. We don't want to put you back on the road, so you stay put. We'll reach out to parents and guardians just to let them know what's going on. But at the end of the day, you follow the homeschool when it comes to closures and delays for weather related. There are days where the homeschools do close, but it's not weather related, and they will say, all Laurel Oaks students, you have a regular day at Laurel Oaks. So typically it's only weather related that you follow the homeschool. Everything else you follow the campus calendar.
Thank you. Who should a student or parent contact when there's a question about grades, attendance, transportation, just general concerns about how we function on a daily basis?
The campus dean is one of the easiest people to get in touch with and ask those questions. I'll give you an example. If you say, hey, my child is struggling in their English class, the first words out of my mouth is, have you been in contact with that English instructor? And it's not because I'm trying to play it off and kind of deflect the question. It's because I want you to be able to have that conversation with that instructor, to have those open lines so you understand where they're coming from and they know where you're coming from. Because again, there might be more needs that need to be shared with that instructor. So, a lot of times we say, hey, here's the contact information for that instructor. A lot of other times we say, hey, here's the counselor, talk to the counselor about this. If it's a specific question for us as the administration, we'll answer those questions as well. But when in doubt, you can always reach out to your administrator and just say, hey, we got a question about this, and we can do our best to answer it, or get you in contact with a person on campus that can help as well.
Thank you. What daily habits separate a student who simply attends versus one who really thrives or excels at Great Oaks? Not everyone.
All right,
at once.
I'll take that one. I think if you're looking for someone that thrives, is someone that is focused, especially on what their goals are. And I think everybody that comes into our building, we want them to have goals for what after 2 years, what's that pathway for them, and that's what we're here to help you with. Let's think about those goals and how, if you're going to achieve those goals, what do you have to do on a daily basis? And we talk to employers all the time. And the one thing is be here every day and be here on time. If you're here every day and you're here on time, you're going to get the information from your lab instructors and from your academic instructors, and you are going to be a better student for it. And that's where I think, we really want to make sure that's very clear to our students. We're preparing you for that next level. We're preparing you for the workforce. We're preparing you for college. We're preparing you for the military. And we want you to know that each one of those organizations, they want you there on time, and they want you there every day. And if you're there every day and there on time, you're going to gain the information that you need to be the one that's going to be in the front of the pack and the one that's going to be successful. So again, those two things, be there every day and be there on time.
Thank you. Any other input? I think Mr. Lindley answered the question well, but if there's any other specific advice for your campus? All right, hearing none, let me throw out another question to you. Along the same lines, we talked about being successful right out of the gate, as Mr. Lindley emphasized. How can students, what opportunities do students have for internships, work-based learning, placement, apprenticeships, et cetera? How does that work at your campus?
Typically, there are many opportunities for students. What kind of Mr. Lindley alluded to, you have to earn those opportunities. Those instructors have their contacts out there with the business and industries out there to help the students get those internships or job placement. But again, that doesn't happen unless that student steps up to earn it. I've had one student that basically said, hey, how come I don't get to go out on placement? And my comeback is, tell me why you think you should be allowed to go out on job placement compared to another student you just asked about. Well, at the end of the day, those students, if you really put your best foot forward and you're demonstrating that you're learning those skills and you're being successful in those skills, and you're demonstrating that to your lab instructor will do everything in their power to make sure that you get to go out on job placement. They have job shadowing, get those internships. We usually don't let our level 1 students, our junior students, go out on job placement until the 4th quarter of this year. Again, it's because they're learning the basic skills and getting them ready for what that next step is. But we also set them up for summer internships. So when they come back as the senior, they're ready to go out on job placement, again, if they've earned that opportunity. And the lab instructors are very clear on what those expectations are. If you're just coming in and you're putting your head down and you're just kind of shuffling through the day-to-day monotony of going to school, yeah, those opportunities aren't going to be there for you. But if you're coming there, like Mr. Lindley said, you're showing up every day, you're showing up on time, you're interacting with your classmates, with your instructor. Those are those opportunities where your lab instructor says, hey, I have a spot for you at this company or this business or this internship. So they're there for you. But again, you have to earn them. And once those opportunities, are out there for you, you talk to your instructor about how to get that, because they're going to talk to you about those opportunities. But again, be vocal and say you want it. And I guarantee you it's a good fit. But once again, I'm going to say it again, you got to earn it.
Thank you. What is the best way for students to meet people, build a sense of belonging when they arrive? Because they may not have friends from their homeschool that are there.
I can tell you from my experience, just watching students in the first 2-3 weeks, they all seem to sit with the students from their own high school. And what happens is in the first week and a half, they start to get to know the other students in their labs, and they start to build different relationships and new relationships with other students. Still keeping those relationships with their friends from their home school, but starting to build those other ones. And I think it's just being open to having new conversations and meeting new people, and striking up a conversation about whatever, especially in the cafeteria, in the morning, in the classroom, and in lab, to be able to have those conversations. You'll start to broaden your horizons, especially as relationships go.
Thank you. For the parents on the chat tonight, how can they support their students at Great Oaks without taking away the independence and accountability that we're trying to instill and they've instilled so that their students are successful in career technical education?
I think the big thing is for our students, we treat them as a young professional. This is a learning opportunity for all students. And a lot of times I've had conversations with parents and guardians because they want to be very involved. And as a parent myself, I want to be involved in my child's life as well. But sometimes you have to kind of take a step back and let them experience things on their own, even if it is failure, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure they are successful. And we want to make sure they understand how to navigate steps like that. So if they trip up and they fail at one thing, that's okay. We're going to teach them. That's why it's school. It's that safe place there, because after the 2 years we have those students, we want to make sure they are ready for the workforce. So as a parent or guardian, having conversations at home, hey, what'd you learn today? Talk about your day. What'd you do? Because a lot of those kids in those 2.5 hours in that lab, they have some great stuff they want to share with you. But at the same time, take a step back and let them navigate their path as well. Just keep checking in on them, but let them do their own thing for a little bit, just so they can understand that as they keep growing and growing and growing, that they are that young professional that we're kind of grooming them towards.
Thank you.
I think also you can, again, those things, giving some of that information, but you can also take a look at Schoology and Progress Book and kind of keep track that way, and then have some conversations about some of those things. And if things are going well, you might not have to watch that, and just have conversations about what they're doing during the day and start building that relationship that way.
Perfect. Thank you. How does Great Oaks provide academic counseling, social emotional counseling, and career planning support? I know we all do it. Just if you could emphasize to the families what we do.
Yeah, so at Diamond Oaks, we have 2 Best Point therapists who are available for students to meet with. So that social emotional piece, you get a referral through your counselor. We have those 2 here all the time. In terms of academics, if you're struggling with that, we have counselors you can meet with, but we also run a shuttle 1 day a week for each homeschool. So 3 schools on one day, 3 schools on the other day. I believe it's Tuesdays and Wednesdays, where you can stay after for an hour with your teacher and get, one-on-one support if you're struggling academically.
Thank you.
At Live,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Good. At Scarlett, it's a little tougher to be able to do that after school piece because we have so many schools that are so farther away from our building. But if you make those arrangements in the morning when you get there, and teachers are arriving at 7 or 7:30, you're making arrangements with those teachers. They would be more than willing to meet with you if you have any questions. The biggest thing is making those arrangements ahead of time to get some of the academic piece. We're the same at Scarlett with our social emotional, with our therapists that are available. And then if you are having any struggles getting in contact with your counselor, and the counselor will then, counselor or dean will help with making that and helping you in whatever direction you want to go. It's the same thing if you're trying to make plans for your future. I want to do this. How do I do that? Let's sit down and have a conversation about what those next steps are for you so that you're heading in the right direction.
Thank you. Dr. Kraus, you want to chime in?
Sure. We also have 2 full-time therapists on staff from Child Focus. Our counselors are great at helping with career planning and options and looking at college applications, or, you know, your lab instructor would be helping you with if you were interested in an apprenticeship or what you might want to do in that career, in that skills trade route. From an academic or sort of overall support, we review a group of labs the counselors and the deans sit down every Tuesday morning and review a group of labs and talk about every student in those labs. That way we can see if there's an attendance concern or a grade concern, or if something has slipped. We try to be on top of, like, is there been a change in behavior? Do we need to set up a parent meeting? Who is the best person? Who's the best connection for that student? To try to be proactive to make sure that students stay on that upward trajectory.
Perfect. Thank you. So, question that's coming up in the chat. We talked about earlier the purpose of August 18th, the New Student Orientation Day. Is that an all-day event, or is it a open house style? What is the goal of that day? Again, just to reemphasize, because I know it's an important day for every campus.
It's an all-day event for all buildings. It's a regular school day. It might be a little different at every building, but it is an all-day. It's your first day of school. Our goal is to, have a group of juniors that are all in the same boat and are all trying to find their classes. And again, there's no one there that's, that's kind of, upsetting that kind of piece. That's why seniors will come the next day. We'll have a full building on, I believe it's the 19th.
I feel like one of the important parts of that day is so that we want the students to come back the next day with some confidence that they know how to navigate. They maybe see a familiar face. They maybe make a connection with an adult that they know that they can ask a question to. But also of equal importance, we are able to then troubleshoot. Your password doesn't work on your laptop for some reason, or just random things that don't seem to work, or a schedule isn't quite right. It gives us a chance to make a list of all of those things to fix, and then we can troubleshoot them so that we can get those items fixed and help you hit the ground running sooner rather than later. So it isolates those first year students so we can really focus on what they need, what their questions are, if things are working for them, so that when the seniors come back, we can help them get up and running quickly, and they can start to be in their lab and enjoy what they've come here to do.
And real quick about the New Student Orientation Day, obviously, some homeschools are back in session before we are, and vice versa. Sometimes we're back in session before the homeschools are. Homeschools are required to do the transportation. So we'll reach out to our homeschools to make sure they know our calendar. We've already submitted it to them, but they are to be running buses. They've done it every year. This isn't new to them. They know exactly what's going on. So sometimes if you reach out to the homeschool transportation department and they might not know exactly what's going on, and they're like, well, we're not going to run buses until the next day, they'll run the buses on the 18th. And we'll reach out to make sure they know, because sometimes they think the New Student Orientation Day is not a regular school day, but it is. It's just a lighter day because it's only half the students that they normally be transporting. So again, we'll reach out to them as well. But again, make sure you guys are reaching out to your home schools as well about the transportation. So we'll make sure everybody's on the same page.
Okay. I think along those same lines, there's some just general calendar questions that I'm seeing in the chat. I would like to emphasize that you follow the Great Oaks calendar, you follow your campus calendar. So if your homeschool has a PD day on a Friday, but your campus is in session, just as Mr. McCool emphasized with the start of school, your homeschool knows knows our calendars and knows that they need to transport you to your Great Oaks campus. So you are expected to follow our calendar. We try to do a great job of aligning our calendars at each campus with the affiliate schools. It isn't always perfect. PD days are probably one of those things that trip people up. So you are expected, if your homeschool's out for a PD day, but we're in session, you are expected to attend on that day. As we already talked about, weather is that exception. If your homeschool's closed due to a weather emergency, we don't expect you to try and make your way to a Great Oaks campus. A couple other questions in the chat. If we miss schedule pickup day, how would we get our schedule? And is it imperative if we can't get it prior to then?
You don't need to be there that day. That's just an opportunity for you to get that early and see the building and have take a walk to where your classes are. If you're not there that day, those new students will get their packets the first day when they go to their lab. It's the same thing with seniors. If seniors don't show up to get their schedule, they'll receive that the first day they come on the 19th. So those packets will be available to your student or students on the first day of new student orientation.
At Live Oaks, when you would come in, everyone comes in the front doors. When school starts, we'll have tables set up alphabetically so that if you didn't pick up your schedule, like my last name's Krause, I'm going to go to the table with a C. Somebody's going to be there. They're going to hand me my schedule and answer my question about what direction do I go for that lab or that first bell class. So we'll have people set up as soon as they walk in that if you didn't get your schedule, or you lost your schedule and you need another copy of it, you can pick it up that morning. We'll be all set up to greet you.
We have about 90 seconds left in our broadcast. Is there any critical information that the deans of the campuses want to emphasize before students arrive in a few weeks?
Again, for Scarlett, real quick, we did send out a letter today that have links on it to a lot of the information of cell phone policy, Parent Square, final forms, all those different things. Please look over those items with you and your student. That would be extremely helpful.
For Diamond Oaks, Mr. Cauliflower will be sending out an email next week with important information to keep your eyes out for. We would love if parents would start filling out final forms now so that students can get their laptops because we need parents and guardians to have filled out final forms before they pick up their laptops. Also, Mr. Cauliflower wanted me to pass along that we are very excited to have all of you and to meet all of you.
Nuts and bolts, fill out the final forms. Do the final forms. We'll do the rest when you're here. But I can't wait to have our new students here. I can't wait for your child to start this adventure. The number of students who say like, oh my gosh, this is so different than my homeschool. This is so great. I can't wait to see that light bulb come on for your child and for you to see that at home. This is just a super exciting time. So final forms, yes, do that. But also, I can't wait. This will be a great year.
Yeah, we're excited. We're looking forward to seeing all those smiling faces in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I just want to emphasize for every parent and student on the call and speak for the deans that are on the call. We are excited that you've chosen Great Oaks as your next step in your educational pathway. And there have been several questions that we haven't gotten to, but I want to emphasize for everyone, please reach out to the campus. There's staff there. Give them a phone call. They'll return your call. They will make sure they get you the answer. We're very proactive in communication, but we want to make sure that you get your specific questions answered because many of them are specific to your location. So please make sure that don't be afraid to reach out. We really encourage the communication. We see it as a two-way system, so we can make sure that your student's successful. With that being said, I want to thank everybody that was on the call tonight. Truly hope that you received impactful and important information to make sure that in really a few short weeks, you're going to have a great transition to your Great Oaks campus. You're going to be successful and really you're going to love it. All of us on here have done this for a number of years. as Dr. Kraus emphasized, can't wait to see those smiling faces and kind of see that light bulb turn on about how different education can be for your child as they are embarking on their career path. So I want to thank everybody for their time. Again, if you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to anybody that was on this call, reach out to the campus directly. We will be happy to answer anything that we can for you. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the weather. Looking forward to seeing everybody as best we can at any open house events or especially new student orientation on August 18th. Thank you and have a great evening.